Talking with Steinich, and this is my stream channel. I just did like more than an hour, and I didn't have my sound on. Can you believe that? So anyway, gonna start again, do another broadcast, and I got the brain waves. Those are my brain waves up there. And let's see if we have better luck this time. Okay, I got to get everything working here because you wouldn't believe how difficult this is to get these brain waves working, and but at least I got the sound on now. Can you believe that? That's amazing. Like I'm just like flabbergasted that I didn't have my sound on. If you've done, you know, streamers put a lot of effort into their broadcasts, and if you have ever done an entire hour of broadcasting and you don't have your sound on, yeah, you'll kind of like know what I'm feeling about because I had a great game. I won the game and in a stellar fashion. I don't do that very often. And then I look and it's like that microphone thing is not moving. And it's all because of the strikes. It's those Hollywood strikes. That's why I don't have a sound guy right now, sound person. Hollywood strikes. I got my assistant producer on strike. I got my writers on strike. I used to have great content. People used to, see me here 6 months ago. I had some of the best content on YouTube and on Twitch. I had great content, and the writers went on strike. My prop masters went on strike. My best boys went on strike. My key grips, they're all gone. I Now what can I do? I got to do everything myself. Like I'm trying to put my brain waves up there. I'm going to check myself here first. I got to see if I'm even appearing here with sound and everything. Okay, it looks like I am. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here now. Gonna go back and play some chess without any more ado because this is that first one, like 1 hour of hard work was totally ridiculous. And now we got the brainwaves up. We got the viewers on. Okay, I got the sound working. It's all appearing green and yellow, whatever that means. And we're going to have a night of playing chess and we're going to win. We're going to do some sacrificial gambits. And if I look a little bit meaner and leaner than normal, it's because I'm a little bit upset about putting my all into my 100% into Twitch broadcast that was broadcasted without any sound. So without any more ado, we'll just forget about my problems and go over here and play some chess because that's what it's all about. Brainwaves and chess. That's what we do here. So I'm streaming. It's end stream. I see there in red, so that means if I can end it, it means I'm doing it now. That's in the Twitch studio. Now I just got to get the Lichess active here. Okay, that's the Twitch studio still. I'm gonna go back. You've probably seen the Twitch studio. Okay, I'm gonna put Lichess here in the URL. I'm hearing myself now. Chess here in the URL. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. Okay, so we got it. We've got the chess. We got the Lichess in the URL. I got the brainwaves working. I got okay, so for you guys, I explained this in the first broadcast. It didn't have any sound, but I'll explain it again. This is the Muse headband. It's a wonderful invention. The Muse headband, it helps you to meditate. If you like to meditate, you get into a state. It You use it with earphones and It plays sounds of birds and cascading waterfalls and some wind in the branches, and you start to meditate. You start to go into the meditative state, and then when you hear the birds, it's because you're meditating correctly. Like, okay, I hear the birds, I'm meditating, and the birds are like a positive feedback, and you just meditate more and more, and people really love that. I find the birds a little bit distracting, to tell you the truth, because for me, meditation doesn't have anything about birds. But a lot of people love the Muse, and it's a good product. But if you want to see the brain waves, you got to get this product by James Clatterback. And I'm not paid by him or anything, but I think he's a nice guy because he helped me to set some stuff up. I emailed him, and he helped me. Um, as one of the silent generation people, I'm not really one of the first people you would imagine that would have like a lot of tech savvy talent and abilities. And somebody like James Clatterback, if he could help me, he's just got a good product. Let's put it that way. He's got a great product. He made this thing called Mind Monitor, and it somehow connects with the Muse headband. This is the Muse 2 headband, and it connects with it with through a software. It's only $16 and it's well worth it. By the time you pay, what is it, 150, 200, 220? I don't know how much I paid for this. I had a good amount of cash when I bought it, so I'm not really thinking about the budget or the price or anything. I just wanted it, and I bought it, and then I bought the Muse the Mind Monitor, and now I can broadcast my brainwaves in real time by using a thing called stream over HTTP. It basically takes your cell phone and puts it right up there in your Twitch. That's my cell phone you're looking at. So everything is working good, and I got the sound. Things are looking good. As a member of the silent generation, I think I'm one of the. No, I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of people in the silent generation who are doing, who are still active on the internet and everything. Silent generation, for you that don't know about it, it's this generation before the boomers. And those of us in the silent generation, when we take our vitamin supplements, we do our exercise, we get the proper amount of sleep, we're still going. We're still moving along strong. There's me, there's Henry Kissinger, um, hundreds and maybe 1,000 or more others that are still really active, going really strong. And we're going to play some chess like right now. We're going to do it. And if we can win, that'll be another great victory for everybody involved. So I'm going to go over here to Elite Chess without any more ado. I see only 58 viewers, 60. Okay, so we're doing okay in terms of viewers. Most of my viewers are completely zoned out right now. They like to get their munchies. They sit on the couch. They do the zoning out, whatever they like to do, and they don't jump in on the chat. But if you're watching, and by all means, jump in on the chat because I'm here. I'm always looking at the chat, always hoping to get some good chat action. So just jump right in when you feel like it. And we're going to do a King's Gambit. We are doing good so far. We got to protect our pawn there because it's being attacked. The bishop can come out to there. There's different ways to counteract that. I'm going to push that knight out of there. Maybe that knight move to there was a little bit premature. We'll see where his knight goes and then maybe go in for an attack of some kind. Maybe even a sacrifice. Who knows? Okay, now our pawn is in danger. What can we do? I'm going to move it up because if he takes him with his bishop, I double his pawns. And we'll see what happens here. This should be interesting. This could be an interesting game. You don't see this very often. It's not like I have all this planned out, but I did double his pawns. And I can castle. I think I'm gonna castle. Is that my best move? Let's see. If I move up here, I put his knight in danger. Yeah, I think I should do that. I put his knight in danger with my queen. And if he protects his knight by moving this pawn up, I put him in check here, and he has to forego the castling privilege. He actually loses the castling privilege. And he can bring his queen up into here, threatening a checkmate, but I can defend the checkmate. Okay, so he moved his knight back. I can take here. I can move this up. I don't know if that was the best move. Maybe I should have done something else. I'm starting to regret what I did now. Should I just take his pawn and then I get massive trades and I don't know. Maybe get one more attack on the pawn, but then he'll bring his thing up to here. Got to do something smart here. Taking too long. I'm taking way, 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 way too long. I don't know. I'm just going to castle, but if I castle, you put me in check and take my bishop. I'm going to do this. I don't know. There's like a lot of things happening here, and if I could have gotten a pawn out of that, but I was like calculating all of that. You could hear me in real time and watch my brainwaves as I was doing it. And I didn't think it was worth it. It might be worth it now, though, because now I don't lose that. Now it's really worth it. If I take with that and he makes a mistake, I put his queen in danger and then take his bishop. So it's much, much better right now than it was before. And if he does something else, I bring the bishop down here and get the same. He foregoes the castling privilege in the same way. So I'm going to win a bishop here, or he foregoes the castling privilege. And if he does forego the castling privilege, I got to move this back because into safety, because if he moves the knight out, I lose my bishop. He advances this to attack the knight. Okay, and I'm going to bring the knight. I could bring him up here, check, and bring the bishop into here, but I think I'm going to have more play. He already lost the castling privilege, and it's hard for him to move his king because the bishop is here. And I can castle, and the knight looks pretty stalwart right there. And it can come up into here too if it wants to. And I think I'm going to bring it up there right now because if he takes my knight, if he takes my bishop, I was going to say, I put him in check. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But this will be interesting either way. It's just a chess game, right? Just a chess game. I would love to play another game, stellar game like I played when I didn't have my sound on. But we'll see. You know, like such is life, right? Now I could put him in check right now. I'm going to put him in check because if he comes up here and check and attacks my knight, I put him in check again by taking his rook. If he moves his king over somewhere else, um, I could just take the knight. So he attacked my rook. I get the exchange. Now I take the knight. And I'm already the exchange ahead, I think. Yeah, I'm in exchange ahead. He's got 3 minor pieces. I got 2. I've got no problem castling. I can castle either side. I've got a lot of options right now. But I do have to complete my development. I can't. I do have the advantage that his queen is way over here in the corner. I think I'm just going to castle this side because it pins that knight. And I can put him in check now because his knight is pinned and then I can take this pawn over here. I'm just going to try some stuff. I'm going to just go for some stuff. I'm going to take the pawn. Why not? I don't see any pieces I have exposed. If I had some weird piece out there that was available for the taking. I wouldn't just be playing fast and easy like this. Um, I should probably bring this out, but I'm going to do this because he might make a mistake and take me. If he takes me here, see this knight is still pinned. So if he takes me here, I take there. His king is in danger. If he moves his king to the back rank, I take this rook. He'll have to move his king up, and that won't be very pleasant at all. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I could lose this horribly still. Um, I gotta get my rook out of danger, my knight out of danger. I'm just gonna go over there and not waste a lot of time. Now I gotta be careful because I'll lose my queen. Oh, but that's still pinned. That's good. Um, I could take that pawn, but you know what? I think it's completely safer, and I might be making a mistake here, but maybe just get my queen out of danger and move his king back. Hmm. I'll get a little time on the clock. I think he's going to go back to the same position after he wastes a few seconds, and then I'll go back over here, and then I'll do my next move. Or maybe I'll take the bishop first. I mean, take the bishop? No, take the... Now, he can get this check if he wants to, but my king just goes over in the corner. Okay, got the check like he wanted. And now I got my check like I wanted. He's got to come over here, and then I'll bring this rook over. Because this rook over in the corner is a little bit vulnerable to the king, to the queen, I mean. Okay, now I got to do something smart. I think this. Oh no, but I was going to say, got to do something smart now. Oh, I'm losing on time. I'll just move his queen out and then see what else I can do. I don't know. I'm losing on time. 31 seconds. I got to move kind of fast here. Okay, so that helps me a lot. This pawn is pinned. And I still have this rook back to protect the bishop, so I won basically another piece there. 40 seconds against 27. That's looking pretty good on the clock. If I'm not really stupid here, I should be able to win. I'm just going to wind down the clock here as much as I can, see what I can get. Can you believe that? I had a queen exposed. That was amazing that I was able to pull that off. I think I blundered there like really handsomely. He has a move here, and then that's checkmate, I think. Okay, so that was not a stellar game. I won 9 seconds against 14, but it's all about the brainwaves. I think that there were a lot of ups and downs in that game, and it's the brainwave data that's so important. This is the only channel on internet, for example, that you can find brainwaves, EEG in real time, as far as I know. There might be some others, but not playing chess. And chess, I explained this in my first video, which was muted. Nobody heard it. So it's kind of wasted and useless. But in the first video I explained tonight, I explained about jousting. Jousting was a medieval thing. Now that's so far in the past right now that nobody really appreciates that much unless you're a Harry Potter fan, that kind of goes back into the medieval times. But you don't see a lot of jousting there. They do some crazy game on brooms and with a ball that flies around. But with the jousting was a real thing. And with jousting, let me explain this. There was with jousting, you had a lance, and a lance was like this long pole, and it tapered at the end, and you held it, and it had a guard here so that it couldn't push back against this hand, and it was really strong. You had like you held it against your chest, something like this, and you were sitting on a horse. You were in this lane. There were two lanes, and they were just passing each other, and you were going to ride down in this direction. Your opponent was going to ride against you over there to the right, or if you were the second, it would be to your left because you're coming from the other direction. And there were princesses there. There was the queen who also maybe liked you in a kind of a platonic way, and you would be like corresponding not through WhatsApp or through Facebook or anything. You would be like writing these missives on paper and with a pen and ink quill type arrangement, and it was all it was a very elaborate scene scenario full of love, unrequited love, jealousy, triangles, power, politics, and you're this knight. And can you imagine charging on your steed, full blast, down this lane, and at the last second, it's a little bit like fencing nowadays. Have you ever seen real fencing in the Olympics? It's all over in like a second and a half. But when you're on a horse, and you got your lance out there, and maybe you lance a lot, and could be even your name, but you got it out there. You've got one split second to do the right thing, and either you get knocked down or he gets knocked off his horse. And at that moment, your brainwaves are going to be moving so fast. They're all going to be synchronized because at that last split second, that's what jousting was all about. It was at that last split second. It's either you or the person. And if you've ever been hit, you're wearing armor when you're a knight, but think about it. You're wearing armor, and you've got some tin here against your chest, but you're running full blast and you're getting hit by the point of a lance right here on your breastbone or on your neck or your shoulder, or lower in your belly, wherever, maybe in your groin, who knows. But you get you get hit by that, and it's a fatal situation. So it's life or death. And it's at that last split second that everything happens. And that's what jousting was all about. And that's what chess is all about, too. Chess nowadays, I know you were just sitting in a chair. You might not be a chess aficionado. You might not understand the feeling. But when you're in the zone, when you're playing chess and you are in the zone, it's an existential thing. It's you or that person. The egos are involved, and you're playing hard. The clock, the time is involved. Everything's involved, just like in jousting. Your brain waves are going 60 miles an hour, which is something that in history we didn't see until the Model T. But in history, you had these life and death situations, and chess is one of those. And that's why I believe EEG and brainwaves are so important, because it's the human condition, it's existential, and this is the only place you can get it. It's right here on the Steinich Twitch channel. So without any more ado, let's go back here. I'm going to do the analysis board, and we're going to do the postmortem. Do the postmortem on this game. Okay, we'll go here. We're going to click down. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to request a computer analysis. Already from the graph here, I can see I made a huge mistake right here. That was a pretty good game, though. One blunder, one mistake on my side. One blunder and four mistakes on the other side. So justice was served according to the mathematics. You can see my opening was solid, 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 right up to the middle game. So if you're into openings, let's click through this because black had the most black was ever had was like a pawn, which is it's like a gambit. Okay, you gambit a pawn for an advantage, and I was a little bit below there, but then came out of the opening very, very well. So let's look at the opening. I made a mistake here, but he didn't capitalize on it. So, or I should say they didn't capitalize on it. So let's look here how we did in the game, move by move. This is called the post-mortem. So let's go ahead and play this out. Started with e4. That was my move. That's just means move the pawn up. And we're doing the King's Gambit, which I call the King's Gambit. There's probably another name for this, but I always just move these two pawns up because I think they're really strong. And the bishop is really strong here against this because you're going to castle and the rook also. It's moving down. That's a sharp move, an edgy move. If I look here, that was my lowest point. You see, like I said, I got a little bit low there just from an edgy move. But I don't see a big disadvantage in that move because he takes, I take, and then he's got to do something with his knight. And it's really edgy, and I can get a really good advantage out of it. And I did. Let's look at that. I moved the pawn up, and right here on the scale, you see a little bit better than I was before. He really needs to respond very crisply and cleanly to this, and he did. The minus says that black, rather, is still ahead by a little bit. Okay, and I moved up here. Black is still ahead. I brought the knight and the bishop against this, and he brought his knight back. He had a better move because he went from negative to positive. Positive means that white is winning. White is winning in this position. And now he's getting ready to castle. And I'm still doing okay because it's point 0.4. Point 0.4 on positive, which means white is winning. And our moving here is I did like a little bit of a wrong move because black had an advantage there, but suddenly I'm back in the positive again with 1.6 advantage. I moved back. That was a good move, obviously, because it will only move from 1.6 to 1.5, so that was a good move. He moved out to force my knight out, but that was a mistake because suddenly it's up to 2.9. Apparently, I should have probably moved the knight up into here, check. But I remember debating that in the game, and I think if I was going to do it again, I think I'd move it back because it looks like a solid position. I'm going to castle. I've got the bishop here, very well placed against the queen, the king. The king has a hard time castling with the bishop here. And then he made another mistake. He decided to take out the bishop. But then I brought the knight up here because, look, if he takes the bishop, then I take out this pawn, put him in check, and that's exactly what happened. He took out the bishop, I put him in check. He came up here attacking my knight, but I take the rook, putting him in check again. He takes the rook, I take the knight, and now we are up to +4, which is pretty good in chess. And from here, I just basically kept moving, kept trading off, kept keeping always within plus 4, plus 6, plus 5.7. Not making any huge mistakes here. Still up to plus 6. We're doing okay. We still don't see where I'm got a checkmate a certain number. Plus 7.4, so moving up. Okay, now you see that number where we got checkmate in 4. Now checkmate in 8. Apparently that was not the right move, but it's still checkmate in 8. I do the safe move because I'm partly playing the clock, and instead of getting a checkmate now, I'm plus 12. Plus 12 is really good. Now we're to checkmate in 8. Checkmate in 13. That was a bad move apparently because, oh, but then he made the wrong move too. So checkmate in 4. Checkmate in 3. I just wanted to check out, during the game I said that I had blundered, but I didn't see the blunder here in the game. Let me see why. Okay, it's checkmate in 13. I moved there, check. Oh, and he suddenly had an advantage of minus 5.3. So that was my big blunder, but he didn't see it. And because we were playing pretty fast on the clock. So that was okay. It's a pretty good game. And okay, we probably got some good brainwave data. And I'm happy about this because I'm broadcasting. I see right there it says end stream. It's over there. It might, it's so strange in Twitch because you point in an opposite direction of where you think, but okay, so it's right down. This is hard. Okay, pointing right down there. Right down there, I see the end stream, and over here, I see the. It's under. It's behind my monitor, my little cell phone monitor, but it's my sound is on, my stream is on, my brainwaves are on. So that was good. We won a game, and I'll be right back because what did you hear? Is that the doorbell? Oh, look at my brainwaves. It's because I wanted food and my brainwaves are reacting. It's the pizza guy. The pizza guy's at the door, and I got to just pause here for a second because um, I got to go give him a tip and everything. As a big Twitch streamer, I have a certain amount of cash to spare, and I get normally give around $50, $100, sometimes 200 for a tip. No big problem. So I'm gonna go and make sure he gets his tip, and I'm gonna get my pizza. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Oh, hello, Mr. Pizza Delivery Guy. You got my pizza here? Okay, well, if everything's okay, I'll give you a pretty good tip tonight. Let me see the pizza. Can you show it to me? Okay, pepperoni, anchovies. What's this? What are these yellow rings here? Pineapple? Hey, man, pineapples ain't for pizza. Number one. Pineapples ain't for pizza. Number one. Look, I was going to give you a big tip. If you could just pull these things off from here, I will give you the big tip. But if you deliver this like this, I'm going to give you a small tip. What's it going to be? Look at my brainwaves there. Okay, so you're telling me that you're going to pull them off. Okay, so your small tip was 50. Pull them off and we'll see what your big tip is. Did you wash those hands? Or you've been riding the motorcycle and now you're pulling them off with your hands? Oh, okay, yeah, I suppose you're right. I will get a little bit more immunity from that. So I don't have to pay extra for the immunity to it. Okay, you pull them off. Looks like good pizza. Okay, here's your tip. It's pizza was 35, right? So here's 300. Will that be okay? All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the pizza very much, and I'm going to get back to my streaming channel because I'm trying to instruct people on how to play chess and watch brainwaves at the same time. Okay, yeah, you too. Have a good night, and we'll see you maybe tomorrow. All right, bye bye. So that was good. So, okay, back to the gameplay. Um, see if my brainwaves are still there. I had a pizza delivery. You probably didn't hear any of that, but I had a situation there where they tried to give me a pizza with my brainwaves are not there apparently. Let me see if I can get them back. You know, with this Hollywood strike, my sound guy is gone. My brainwave technical guy is gone. My prop master is gone. My best boy is gone. Even I don't even have a key grip. And I used to always complain about my assistant producer Paul, and he's not even here. So I'm just doing everything myself. And now I got to edit the scene. I'm in the Twitch. I'm in the Twitch studio, and if I can pull this off, it'll be one of the best things that a silent generation person has ever done. Um, except for putting people on the moon, by the way. My generation was the people that landed people on the moon, and nobody's doing that today, even with all the computers and all this stuff. Cause like we could do it, but who's doing that today? Tell me, who is putting people on the moon? Everybody's talking about it. China wants to do it. Let me get my brainwaves up here before I continue. Let me see. Okay, so mind monitor, connecting the muse. I gotta connect my muse. I'm gonna turn off my muse first. Okay, that's the one thing about the muse is that the button you gotta be like a Houdini and have like some weird perceptions. Okay, so first, unless you use a mirror, I'm using a mirror so I can see you can't feel the button. I'm telling you. It's not because I'm a silent generation person. This button is hidden up here. It's on the top, but it's completely flush with the rest of it. Okay, it's off now. And let me see. Okay, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay, I turned it on and okay, now it's reconnecting. Okay, so after the pizza guy went and I reconnected and I explained about the strike in Hollywood and everything, we can play another game. That was quite an event, but anyway, I was telling you about my pizza situation. Let me just make sure I'm still on the internet and man, this is so much technology. Okay, yeah, we put a person on the moon. We can handle this. It's going. I got my brain. Oh wait. One more technical adjustment. Okay, there we go. It's connecting again. And I'm just going to make sure the last thing I got to do is make sure my sound is on. It is. And I don't have my sound person here, but I'm just going to check here and make sure that I'm live on the internet. Um, it's not there that I want to look. I got to see myself. This is in Spanish. Why is my cell phone in Spanish? It says indirecto. Okay, so indirecto. I click on indirecto. Gestor del Stream. Give me a break. Come on. Is that me? No. That's like a prior broadcast. That was the one I made without any sound. Okay, click indirecto. Pineapple ain't for pizzas there. I don't know. All right, that's there. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go on a wing and a hope, and it's kind of like how we flew people to the moon. Look at my brainwaves, how jumbled up how jumbled up they are right now. Um, Going on a wing and a prayer, they call it, not a wing and a hope. Wing and a hope is for atheists. Other people pray, and I certainly pray because I'm not at all an atheist. I'm a what do they call it? Something else. I'm a Zen master. That's what it is, and we actually do pray. Well, it's not exactly a prayer. It's the universe is expressing itself through us. So we are the prayer. We don't pray. We are a prayer. It's a little bit different. Um, it's not exactly a prayer though. It's like kind of like the manifestation of everything. Um, but it's religious in a sense. Not exactly religious. It's more mystical. But you get my drift. It's a wing and a prayer in any case. So let's go over here to the Steinitch channel. Um, I think I'm online now and everything. I'm gonna try to lose this game just to get some better brainwave data. Um, just checking and make sure that everything is online. Got the brainwaves. I got the sound. Okay, the chessboard. It looks like we're playing black. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that's gives me an opportunity because he doesn't have this square protected yet. Now, how am I going to do to protect my square? Apparently, he didn't expect that I was going to do that because he's thinking a lot. I don't want to sacrifice that pawn when he moves his bishop up there. I probably should just move this knight out. This is an interesting game. No, I can't move my pawn up, but I can get ready to castle. He can't kick my knight out because that's the nature of the game. I can put him in check, but I think he wants me to do that. And I can't go here. He'll kick me out with his pawn. I think I'll just go here and just kind of like castle over without wasting a lot more time. He apparently knows what he's doing. He's playing a pretty interesting game. I might be making some mistakes here. But I'm going to already thrust up into the center because I think I can. And I'm going to go maybe up here just to mix stuff up a little bit. Bring the bishop back. I'm going to play on time now. I'm going to take that. He can't attack me here because his bishop will be in problems. I've got a move over here, except that square's got two people. It's got to be something I can do. Should be a move right now. Should I put him in check? I'm going to put him in check, just get a bishop active and see what happens. I'll do a trade over here probably. Okay, I'm just going to go for the clock situation, and if he takes me, I got two options. I can take with my knight or I can take with my queen. Should I take with the queen? Probably, because I don't want a lot of unnecessary complications. And now I'm going to bring the knight up because I see a weak square here. I'm going to go for that weak square. And if I can't get this weak square, I'll come up into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weak square where I focus his queen and his bishop at the same time. So let's see what's going to happen here. I'm concentrating. I'm in the zone. You can see my brain waves. Usually when I get into the zone, it's when I lose the game. Just a question if I have to go here or over here. I think it's over here is best because he can't attack me here with his rook next move. Okay, he moved over there. I can bring my queen a little bit closer. I don't know why I'm doing this, by the way. Um, I can come here and put his queen in danger. But then he can bring his queen over to here and get my queen out. I gotta do something a little bit smarter. I think I'm going to, I don't see a good way to really attack him really strong except maybe with a pawn. So moving the pawn up and hopefully I won't lose a lot on time here. If I take with the pawn, he can only take here and then that pawn's going to be pretty weak. I'm going to take first with the pawn, I think. Or should I take up here first? I think this is a stronger move. That knight will always be protected by the queen, and then I can take here check later. The pawn will be protected by the knight and the queen. He's got to move his queen out, and he can't come over here to trade the queen because he'll have to come here to keep the queen on this diagonal. Then I can take here, and then we'll see. Yeah, see, he did the right move. I'm just going to come here. Maybe I'm being stupid, but I just playing the clock. Now I don't have much else. Don't have much else here that I can see unless it's to attack that rook over there. I don't know. Crap. What can I do? Don't see a lot here. I think I'm stymied. Um, I don't want to take that bishop because it'll just... Oh, I see something. Didn't see that. I could come down there and attack the queen another time. It was good. I took a little extra time on the clock there because it gave me a chance to maybe move that queen to a less opportune square. Oh, and it's really good. He's got to take the queen off from this white diagonal now, and then I can just come over here with my queen because it's protected by the knight. I thought he had to take it off the diagonal. Oh no, he did have to take it off the diagonal. Now I can just take his queen. Oh my brainwaves are working. Okay, that's good. Um, okay, now it's just a matter of winning this game because I don't want to make a lot of stupid mistakes. I want to move this bishop out of here. This knight out of here. I got to get my rook centralized. I think I'm just going to move this pawn up and hopefully not lose the game because I threaten a checkmate here. I'm a queen ahead, so if I have to sacrifice one piece, that's no problem. If he takes the knight, I get a checkmate here with my bishop. Okay, now where do I put that? Where do I put it fast? Where do I put it? I think over to here looks like the safest place where he can't really attack me. Um, can I put him in check? Can I put him in checkmate? Can I come over here? I can get his, I'll get this knight next. I can't take the knight. Am I going to lose this game? I'm going to take this knight, and if he takes me here, I'll put him in check. 45 seconds against a minute 45. That doesn't look too good. Where am I going to go with the queen? He's got to go out of there. I'll just go over here and take a pawn. I'm going to lose. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to lose my knight, but that's okay. And then I'll put him in check. Put his bishop in check. Is that how you refer to that? Okay, I'll take his bishop and put his knight in check. And now he's in check with the rook. Get another piece in play. And another piece in play. And it looks like a mating net. 21 seconds on the clock. And it looks pretty dire. Okay, I'm going to go here. And then here. Move the knight, the rook up. I thought that was checkmate, but it's not. That's strong. And that's checkmate. Okay, so look at that. Look at those brain waves. I don't want to blast your eardrums. I'm sorry for yelling like that, but they were really synchronized. We're getting some really good data here tonight. Excellent, excellent data. That was a pretty interesting game. The reason my brain waves got all synchronized, and they still are, in fact, is because that if you're not a aficionado of chess, you probably don't really appreciate the symbolic importance of having a rook and two, I'm sorry, a queen and two rooks stacked like that. Stacked, like they are just completely stacked up. The two rooks are stacked on top of the queen. Everything on the board is basically looking, on my side, is looking ship shape because I've got them stacked. As I say, I have this pawn controlling the center. I got these three in their original positions, which is nice and orderly. Like I said, ship shape. I've got my king in a pretty good defensive position. I got this pawn. The one pawn here is actually helping with the attack because the pawn is here, preventing the king from moving forward. So all the pieces coordinated, stacked. Um, it's not very often in this world that people need to apologize for their brainwaves, and I I just realized that my brains were so much in sync. They were so high. Um, I wanted to explain why uh, you saw that really gleeful, joyful configuration in my brainwaves. And it's not because I love winning games. I actually like losing games more because when I lose games, it's my opponent that wins, and that gives me a lot of joy when I can do something nice to another person and let them win. I really get a kick out of that. But in a sense, I don't get a kick out of that very much either because um, nobody likes to be a loser, and I think that's why the brain waves are so candid, so frank, so honest. Like I can say to your face, "Oh, I like to lose," but then when I win and the brain waves are totally synchronized and high like they were, it's a dead giveaway. It's like when Trump said to Pence, "You're too honest." Like he was really exasperated because Pence wouldn't they had this whole scheme where they had these electors, false electors, and they wanted to put those into the urn, as they call it, the urn, URN, like the urn of the votes, and then Pence would pull them out and go, "Whoa, this doesn't look right. I got more votes than I should. This is strange. Something's not happening. We can't certify this today. We're going to have to certify it later." And then Trump had all of these ideas that it was going to go back to the states. And if you know anything about American politics, if it goes back to the states at this point in history, the states will win because you've got a lot of states that don't have a lot of people, but they have more power because of how the Constitution and the Electoral College is set up. If it goes back to the states, Trump thought, oh, I'm going to win this election even though I lost. I'm just going to lie. And that's exactly what he said to the Justice Department. He said, oh, just do it like this. They said there's no evidence for that. He said, just do it, and let me in my cohorts in the states. We'll take care of it. So by telling Pence you're too honest, and by saying this thing like, oh, just say it anyway, even if you don't believe it, because then we'll take care of it. Saying something you don't believe, that's a lie. And by telling Pence, oh, you're too honest, he wanted Pence to lie. He wants everybody to lie just like him. And that's why I think this indictment is rock solid and it's correct. If we let this indictment stand, all hell is going to break loose. You lose the American democracy, and that's no exaggeration. That's no exaggeration. Think about it. If a president can do this, get false electors, lie to the American public, even though by his own words he knew he was lying. If you don't accept election results and you use all your powers to go against that, you try all kinds of devious ways, all kinds of tricks, that's not democracy. That's just winning by banana republic techniques, which is what the United States would become if this indictment is not, if it does not lead to the proper sentencing that it should lead to, which is to put a criminal behind bars, and let him run if he wants to. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution that a person behind bars cannot run. So this is not election interference in any way. Put him behind bars, let him run. If he wins, fine, he wins. He can destroy the United States from jail if he wants to, but he deserves jail. Okay, deserves it. He broke the law. He lied. He tried all kinds of. He put himself above country, the Constitution, everything, because he's Richie Rich. He's Donnie Boy. He is a bad, evil character. He's the bane of the United States. And you heard it here on Steinitch. My brainwaves don't lie. Check the brainwaves. Look at that little speech I made. Check the brainwaves and you'll see I'm telling the truth. And that was a good game. I really liked playing that. And I don't want to get off on a tangent, but before we quit this, let's try one more, shall we? I don't like to get off on tangents and stop playing chess because really this whole thing is not about politics or anything. It's about playing chess. So this is chess and brainwaves. Here we go. Just doing a final check. I'm on internet, right? Streaming. My sound is on. My brainwaves. Oh, wait. My brainwaves are. Wait a second. What happened? My brainwaves are off. Wait a second. I can correct that. I'm going to correct that. As a member of the silent generation, I know what to do. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get them up there. One more little adjustment here, and they're going to be there. I mean, if you can put a man on the moon, you can broadcast on Twitch. I mean, this is a Twitch stream, and it's no big deal. I just edit the scene now. In the Twitch studio, click there, browse. No, not going to browse. I'm just going to click the purple arrow. Purple arrow again. I don't know why it didn't come on. Okay, so one more final adjustment here. Got my cell phone on. Logically, that just tells me that I need to go and get the, and they're not there. For some reason, they completely disappeared. Maybe that's why. So, no problem. We'll just go over here. Going to go back to the Play Store. Mind Monitor open. And there you go. Mind Monitor by Jack Clabberback. And they're on there. Those are my brainwaves. I hope you saw those during my little political speech because I want to make sure that I am telling the truth. But you don't have to look at brainwaves to know who's telling the truth. If you have half a mind, you know, you know. Um, those of you who are still supporting a mendacious, narcissistic liar, you're still supporting that. Just forget it. But I'm sure that nobody supporting that is looking at chess anyway. So um, anyway, okay. So we're in stream, mind monitor. Everything's working good. I got sound. Let me check the sound again. Okay, we're gonna play one more game and see what happens. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna do. So far, we've had pretty good luck, not only with the brainwaves, but with winning games. If we win this one, that'll be good. It'll be three in a row. But if we don't win this one, well, it'll be four in a row, counting the one that I didn't get. I didn't. I'm not going to publish because it was completely silent because I have any noise or sound, as they call it. I'm going to trade him off. That's a lesson from a very famous guy in chess, by the way, who said if you stick it out there and you threaten to take it, then you're kind of committed. Just take it. If you don't, okay, I'm going to get this pawn up here in the center. His knight can come to here, and that's pretty formidable, but we'll find a way to get him out of there. I'll probably just bring him out by, there's different ways. Okay, so I think this is the fastest and best way to avoid that queen attack. I'm going to come up into here. I was going to come back here, but the queen I think is going to be stronger at this position. He can't move the pawn up because I take the pawn. Now I got to bring the knight here or over to here. I'm going to bring the knight up to here because he's advancing this pawn and I can just take the pawn. And that maybe will help. Okay, I got to get rid of this bishop and rook, and I prefer to. Okay, we're doing okay. I'm going to attack full out on this side. I don't see where he's going to get some weird attacks because this pawn is not here. I'm just going to go up here, break up that pawn position, and go really strong against this king. I can't break up the pawn in position until I bring this knight over here. I got to be smarter, though. I'm not being quite smart enough. I got to bring the knight over here and get rid of this bishop somehow, or at least threaten something on this square. Okay, I'm going to threaten the bishop. I don't see where his queen looks really like it's going to jump in there and do something, but coming down on these squares, it looks pretty dismal for a queen in this area. I would love to take that bishop. If he moves it back to here, okay, let me see if I have something now. Maybe I should just keep the knight there. It looks really strong over there. I'm just going to keep the knight there and move my knight over here to get the positioning up here. His queen cannot penetrate really except into here. And if he does, I'll just take him here. I don't think he's going to do that though. Most players have, at least at low levels, like I play People have a psychological, yeah, he did it though. They have a psychological problem, a hang up about not sacrificing, but trading their queen. Okay, now his bishop can still be taken. I don't know what his queen is going to do down there. We'll see if he has something else that he can do. Now, I'm going to just, I don't know what he's got up his sleeve. And I'm going to see where he can move his queen. Maybe he can't move it anywhere. I don't know. Maybe I got it trapped. He moved it over there. Okay, that's fine with me. I'm going to maybe come up here already. This queen doesn't have anywhere to go from there. This could be like a totally losing thing, but it looks good. I've got this bishop pinned. Did I just lose the game? Maybe I did. I thought I had that all planned out, but maybe I still do. We'll see. It's the only thing I can do. Okay, and now I got to move fast. I got to go in for the checkmate with the queen here and the knight here. I thought I had that all planned out, but I didn't. That just shows you how James Dunn, a famous James Dunn, no, it was a famous poet, a Scottish poet that said, um, mice and men, how their plans go awry. And my plans certainly went awry right there. I might just go for the repeated thing here. That helped because see this is protected by this knight. I can get his queen out of there. And then move up here. Did I lose my knight? Ah, man. I'm going to resign. That was a horrible game. At least we got some brainwave data. You can see how my brainwaves were all completely like, my brain was not functioning correctly. Let's just try one more time because that was bad. Um, I shouldn't say it was bad. It was a good game. It was a wonderful game. My opponent won, but I played badly. I think that's the way I should put it because that was just it could have been a lot better. I just made like a number of blunders. It's so bad. It's so blunderful. Not bad, but blunderful. I'm not blunderful has is completely different from wonderful, believe me. But it was so full of blunders that I don't think it merits a post-mortem. But let's just see if we can pull something off here and actually win a game in really good style. Would be wonderful if we could. He's going to come up to here, and then I go there. That's okay. I'm going to bring this pawn up because I want to get really free on this side, and then I'll bring my knight up behind. And he's getting really free free on that side too. I'm just gonna commit. I'm gonna castle and go for that side over there. No, I think he's playing well. I don't see where he can do anything really, but I got a tactical thing over here now because suddenly I got this check, which is a nice tactical thing, and maybe I should just bring the knight up and hope for the best. I got his his I got the exchange here at least, and I can take that. And then should I just bring the queen up maybe? I'm going to bring the queen up because it looks like a pretty good position for the queen. And now I'm going to simplify over here. He's got some attacks over here on this side, but now I'm going to attack on this pawn with my knight, and if he does that, I'll just keep moving up here. If I move up here, I can attack this knight. That might be the stronger move. But he'll move his knight here. That knight's going to be unassailable. This is hard. I got another attack on the knight. Okay, because I got this bishop that can come here. And I'm already going to do that. Maybe that was the wrong move. But we'll see. I'm just playing on the fly here. 3 minutes against 4 minutes. If he doesn't do the right move right now, he's going to be kind of like lost. Maybe the bishop should come over here. He sacrificed. Oh, he didn't sacrifice. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. He didn't sacrifice this. Oh, that was good. That was pretty amazing, actually. Okay, but I got this move. I'm going to come against this knight one more way. I'm going to take this with my bishop, and then I'll have this rook against the knight. And I think that knight's going to fall finally. He's got 3 pieces on the knight. I have 3 pieces on the knight, and after I take this, I'll have 4. I sacrifice a piece to do that, but it's worth sacrificing the piece because I'm going to have like an extra piece. Okay, that's good. I got to get the queen out of there, and I'm going to keep it on that knight. Going to move it back there. It looks like a pretty safe square. I don't see where it can be attacked by either of the knights. And I'm going to go after that knight next time. After I take here, I'm going to go pretty strong against that knight. Oh, he came back there. So I'm just going to do it. I don't have like a lot of time here, and I think I have enough power on that side to justify this exchange. That was pretty good. I have to respect that. I'm going to go over here. He'll bring his knight back here, and then I'll bring my queen over here. Oh, he brought up there. He sacrificed in exchange there. I can come here, though, too. I don't have to take that rook. Oh, I get the free rook because his knight is pinned. I think I'll just take the free rook. His knight is pinned. I think that was a good deal to get a free rook. His pieces are all pinned up here behind mine. I think the idea here now is to come here. I think, because if I take this pawn, he gets his queen out of there. I gotta do this fast. I think that's the right move. Okay, and I can take him with my rook or my pawn. I'll take him with my pawn. And he comes there. He's hanging in here. He's hanging in here really good. I'm just going to take that and then move this up. And probably take, instead of getting in trouble with my king at more advanced, I'm going to take him with this. I'm going to lose this unless I play really good, really fast. Oh, that is in check. I can't move my rook. I was going to move my rook and checkmate him, but I can't. But after I get rid of that pin, I can do it. I think I can do it next move unless, oh no, he's got this square. Okay, this will win the queen, his queen for me. Look, watch this. And now I got his queen pinned. 44 seconds on the clock. I should be able to win this. If I don't win this, I should say that I should have won this. Okay, so now his knight is pinned. Put him in check. It's got to move back. Now I make sure this pawn cannot queen. Got 34 seconds on the clock. The only question now is if he can get a stalemate, and I'll make sure that he can't get a stalemate by lining up my rook in front of my queen. When the rook's in front of the queen like this, then it's just like a typewriter check, it's called. Um, it's not quite a typewriter. Oh yeah, no, it'll be a typewriter check. Let me see. I got to make sure I get a typewriter check here. I'll get one in this direction instead of the other direction. No, see, typewriter check. That's always a good thing to learn. Keep your knight and your rook in front of your queen. Okay, so we lost one game because you saw my brainwaves were not correct. But then we played a good game after that. So that vindicates the whole situation. I think that'll be our last game for the night. But first, let's do the postmortem, shall we? Why not? Let's see what we got here. It's nice that we got the stream working good. I'm going to go here, analysis board, and request a computer analysis. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. And this could be interesting. If this is not interesting, I'll always say it should have been interesting. We'll see. Oh, wow. Uh, all right. Look at my brain waves. Wow, they're just kind of like, oh, that was just so amazing. Now they switched back into linguistic mode because I'm not talking, but for a second it was just like, ooh, and they were just like, ooh, like raking across like that. Did you see that? Totally synchronized. It was great. A lot of my viewers ask me if maybe I got only 58 viewers right now, but a lot of my viewers ask me, um, is it cheating to be looking at your brain waves in real time? It seems like an unfair advantage because I know when my brain waves are in sync. I see when they're going up. I have a certain amount of control over that because of that. And we all know that the brain is highly definitive in terms of winning at chess. It's probably the most, well, it's not the only most definitive thing because your body is also part. The brain is one part of a pole, your body is the other part of the pole, depending on how much you're in shape and how much vitality you have in your skeleton and your muscles. It's obviously going to affect your gameplay. So that's why I work out a lot. Um, and if you want to be a good chess player, you should be too. Bobby Fischer definitely was in very good physique, and he even talked about that. He talked about that in an interview with David Cavett once. And you got to be in good shape to do anything in life. So exercise, um, I sure do because it's an important part of the brain body system. So let's just see how we did here with the postmortem. You can see zero mistakes, zero blunders, one inaccuracy in the whole game. One inaccuracy. Let's look where that inaccuracy was. Look at that. In the middle of the game, you see the blue right over here? Look, see my cursor. If I put you see the blue dot? So up to that point, I didn't have any inaccuracies even. Now that's not to say I'm playing as good as Magnus Carlsen, because it's one thing not to have any inaccuracies, and it's another thing to have like one solid, strong move after another, after another, after another. I was probably playing without any inaccuracies, but not nearly so strong as Magnus would have played. So don't think because you've got 0, 0, 0 there that you're some kind of a master, because you're probably not, unless you're actually playing at high levels. And I I the highest level I ever played was in Sao Paulo. I used to play against an international master at I used to play at this club, and his name was Segal. Alessandro Segal. And God bless his soul, he's not with us anymore, but he was a really nice guy, really friendly guy. He gave me a lot of good advice, and if I anything I do today is because of him. I wish I could say I channeled him. If I did channel him, I'd be like probably winning, because with his acumen in conjunction with what I've built up over the years, I probably would put us over the top. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should channel him someday. Why don't you jump in on the chat? Help me channel him in the next session, and we'll see if we can just start rising right up to beat Hikaru and all the rest. But at this point, we're a little bit lower than that, but we're doing okay. And we'll go through this game here and see what we can do in terms of the postmortem. As you can see, one inaccuracy in the game, so I'm going to click through as black, and you can be sure that if you played this as black, you wouldn't have any mistakes, you wouldn't have any blunders, you'd have one inaccuracy in the middle of the game. So this is a solid opening. And look at that. Okay, so, oh my God, I'm going to go into connuptions. He's bamboozling me. He's got something going there. Obviously, he's going to do something to flabbergast me. Whoever saw a pawn move like that I haven't seen that in any book or anything or any library. It looks like a reverse grab attack or something. Or I think there's a name for that actually. I've never really studied that move. I think it's called pawn to b4 maybe. I do remember seeing that once, and somebody said it was like really strong. They said maybe it's the strongest thing to do in chess, and maybe it is. I don't know. It could be, but it's not something that you normally see. I think I've been playing a lot of games, and I can't remember if anyone's ever done that before. Maybe they have, but it's a pretty strange opening. So what I did is just, and Stockfish backs me up on this. That's not an inaccuracy. That's not a mistake. That's a solid move. So we already know that by looking at the analysis. And he came out here to prevent pawn to king 4, but we don't really have to do pawn to king 4. We can prepare pawn to king 4 in here. And I did the knight here because if I bring him out here, I invite the attack with the pawn. And here I have other options. I can see that's another thing. If I bring the knight here, I block this pawn. So by bringing the knight here, and he's not really influencing the center at all. He's got this bishop over here, but you see how it's missing everything. Um, he maybe thinks that's a really strong move, but I think I've got a stronger position. Um, the computer puts us at 0.0. Look, you see right up here where my cursor is? I'm highlighting this. It's 0.0. So we're doing okay. And okay, so now he finally gets the idea, well, he needs to dominate the center. In my first video tonight, and I don't want to belabor this point, but I will, um, because I said some things in the first video which I'm going to erase because I didn't have the sound on. Okay, the sound is very important. And I'm just going to check here. Yes, the green bar is moving. So I have sound on, and I didn't have the sound on. I explained this about Gettysburg and about the middle of the board. Okay, this is an interesting, maybe an important analogy. I have a book by James Mason, and it's very, very good. It's edited by a guy named Rainfield, Fred Rainfield, and but James Mason wrote it originally, like way back when, and it talks a lot about strategy. I have it in the smallest room. I have it in the smallest room of my house. Those of you who have read Freud will know what I'm talking about. But Gettysburg is important. Why? Why is Gettysburg important? Any hands there? Let me look at the chat. No, nobody's responding in the chat. Oh, I know, because you're all zoned out. It's something I need to explain to you. I've got 61 viewers right now, but they're all zoned out. You guys are all zoned out. You're on your couch, you got your munchies, you're watching the brain waves, and I know they're mesmerizing. You're watching the brain waves, you're zoned out, and you're not chatting. It's like it's socially irresponsible. If you're benefiting from the channel, you should be in the chat chatting because it adds to the energy. Okay, so if you chatted there, it would be a lot better. But no, you want to sit there eating your munchies and watching the brainwaves. Okay, so, but I shouldn't complain because, as they say, nothing succeeds like success, and there's nothing like having viewers. So you're doing the right thing. Just keep viewing and not chatting if you so desire. So let's go ahead and talk about Gettysburg. Okay, so why am I talking about Gettysburg? Because I want to make an analogy between Gettysburg and the center of the board. Okay, look at the screen now. You see the center of the board right here? It's generally these four squares. And those four squares and these squares that are outside those four squares. And it's very strange. You won't understand this in the early 20th century. You won't understand what I'm saying because our logic doesn't work in this way. But it's not really a question of these four squares and the 16 squares around it. Hey, all right, we got a chatter. Mike Karkin, that's great. I use on the chess side. Okay, so Mike, I'm going to talk. Do you play chess, Mark? If you play chess, respond to me because I've got 55 viewers right now. I'm in the other part of the world. I'm not in the United States, and I'm not going to say where I am, but I am in a different country. And cool. So you play chess. So listen to what I'm saying, Mark. You see if you understand this. I'm sure you understand it, but see if you agree. I'm going to talk about Gettysburg. Mark, do you know what Gettysburg is? Does that ring a bell? Gettysburg? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't ring a bell in Australia. Probably not. But it was an important battle in the Civil War of the United States. Okay, so yeah, Chess.com. Yeah, that's my one of my favorite sites. So anyway, Gettysburg was like this. You had the high ground and you had the low ground. And back in that day, if you had the high ground, you had a big, big, big advantage. Still learning only. You know what? You're on the right place because I talk at a 100 ELO. Okay, okay, even 1,000. I talk at a 1,000 ELO level because listen to me. I'm just going to explain some really basic chess, and here's why the center of the board is important. Okay, I'm going to explain to you why the center of the board is important. You'll be my first really chess student. I hope you enjoy this because I'm going to explain why the center of the board is important. Okay, it's like a hill. It's like in Gettysburg, they wanted the high ground. Ah, another follower. All right, Mark. So anyway, here we go. Gettysburg, they wanted the high ground. So think of the center of the board as the high ground. Why was the hill strategic at Gettysburg? For a number of reasons. First of all, you actually had to run up the hill, and it's hard to run up hills to vanquish your enemy. And for another reason, think about ballistics. If you're at the top of a hill and you're shooting down, your bullet flies basically in a straight line. If you understand anything about algebra, linear equations, how it works, x squared. Um, okay, 1300 is good. Okay, so I'm a little a small amount above you, but anyway, it's not about who's higher or whatever. Forget about that. I hope you benefit from what I'm going to say right now. Is that the center of the board is the hill? Okay, so let's keep going through this post-mortem. So there now I have the center marked out. I have this pawn buttressed by the knight. The bishop's here. Okay, he's got some things in line that he's going to do, but let's see if he can actually do them. Why he pushed that pawn up, I really don't know. I have no idea why he did that. Doesn't seem to like really improve his position at all. Okay, but we're going to keep advancing through this game. Now I buttress the pawn another time against the bishop. Okay, the bishop is coming down against this pawn. I have two pieces that are protecting it. This pawn is not really doing anything to me. The other pieces are in their original positions. Okay, now he attacks this pawn with that pawn. Okay, so now suddenly I have to react. I have to do something. And what did I do? Mark, you weren't here in the very beginning, but you might not be even here right now. I don't know that you're still here, but anyway, it was fun. While it lasted, I got another follower. And here we go. Okay, I moved the pawn up. Still here. All right. Oh, look at my brainwaves. Mark, are my brainwaves showing? Can you see my up? There they are. Why was that white thing there? I hate that white thing that appears. Okay, look, Mark, that's my brainwaves. This is the only channel on internet where you can see somebody in real time watching the brainwaves. Okay, now pay attention to those brainwaves because they tell you if I'm lying or if I'm telling the truth. Okay, watch the patterns, mesmerize yourself, and just keep paying attention because we're gonna. Mark, you didn't see this at the beginning, but in the beginning of this postmortem, I showed. Look, here's the postmortem, and if you look over here, that's me, Steinitch. This was a pretty good game. I had one inaccuracy, which is this blue dot right here. Look, I put the cursor here. You see the blue dot over there? I had one inaccuracy throughout the rest of the game, no mistakes, no blunders. And I was explaining to the viewers who are just zoning out. I've got 57 right now who are just zoning out, looking at brainwaves. They zone out. They like to eat their munchies and they don't interact in the chat like you are. But this is a solid game, okay? So as I work through this game, you'll see that I'm making all moves that, according to Stockfish, are valid moves. So I moved the pawn up to avoid any wholesale exchanges here in the center. I have a pretty strong game. I'm going to go king side, okay? Look at the bishop. King side, look at his bishop. Blocked behind his pawn. Completely blocked. This pawn up here doing nothing. I've got possibilities to bring my queen out. I've got possibilities to bring my knight out. I got possibilities to bring this bishop out. And he's basically not developing over there. This was a good move. This was a very good move. Trying to take the support out of my center. It's an aggressive move and a good move. And I also made a good move because if he takes here, I take there. And he doesn't have a good way to attack this pawn, at least not immediately. And I keep my center good. This was probably not the greatest move for him because look, I'm going to back up one move. Point 0.7, he moves up there. It's minus 1.1. Why? Because he brought the pressure off this pawn. And I know I'm not rated that much higher than you, but at the same time, I have this one idea that if I can just transmit a little bit to you, if you don't mind me being the instructor. And when he did this, he basically took all the pressure off my center. My center is going to be there very strong now. Okay, so let's keep moving. So I brought the bishop back. Before I brought the bishop back, I made sure that this square here was well protected, and it is because I got the knight, I got the pawn. He can't keep advancing. I got the knight, the pawn, the bishop, and the queen. Well, it's comforting that you say that, but as you advance, and I'm sure you will, you seem like a bright person and an honest and frank and straightforward person. Your rating is obviously going to go up, but somebody rated less than 2,000 like myself is just like a nobody in the chess world. It's kind of like ridiculous to try to explain, but maybe Hikaru, maybe somebody like Magnus Carlsen, they might have a trouble or a problem reaching out to people rated 1,300 because they're so far advanced. I might be at the right level to help you a little bit. So let's see if we can. Anyway, this square here looks like a place where things could happen, but I've got one, two, three, four. He's got one. He's completely outnumbered, so I don't have to worry about that. He's coming up. So I'm going to ignore this and suddenly go up this side. And if you were watching the game, you'll realize when I came up here, I said, okay, I'm going to get some more power coming up and also clear a way for my knight. My knight come out without blocking the pawn. Okay, and he's playing good here. This was not a bad move. Um, all right. Okay. Cool. Like, look, I'm on every night, and if you're listening, and if you're right now, let me look. 57. I got 57 viewers. They're all zoned out. They're mesmerized. They're looking at the brainwaves. That's all they look at, and you're the only person chatting. But anyway, let's keep playing through this. I love this game because I just finished this, and as I showed you, I didn't have any mistakes even any inaccuracies except for one. So this is a solid game. So let's just watch how this plays out. He played a good move here, really good move, because it blocks these pawns from advancing. And I'm preparing to castle now. I got to get my king out. You don't always have to get your king out of the center. Don't think that that's something written in stone. Sometimes it's good to stay in the center, but if you got nothing else to do and you're playing the clock like I am here, um, it's good. The lead chess. That's the one thing about lead chess. It doesn't really show. Oh, it does show the move times. I was going to say, look, the move times are here: 4:31, 4:41. So we're playing the clock very good. This was a 5-minute game. 4:31 against 4:41. We're even on the clock. So he knows I'm doing stuff over here on this side. He's completely blocked in on this side. You see how his pawns. And Mark, I love how you said cool. I'm learn already from you because it's so cool that you have that attitude because I want to tell you something very important right now. Have you ever played Minecraft, Mark? Do you know what Minecraft is? Okay, so you know obsidian, right? Obsidian is a very, very, very important type of a cubic stone in Minecraft. Obsidian, you can't break it. Right? Right, Mark? You can't break it. And this is one thing I always try to convey to my students. These pawns, my pawns look strong because they're all protecting each other. But guess what? They're not obsidian. He could sacrifice against those and remove them. But can he sacrifice against his own pawns? Can he sacrifice against these? Can he remove these? He can't. Those are obsidian. Those I'm going to use those to my advantage. He can't move past those pawns. His pawns are blocking him. Yeah, good for not to get raided. Yeah, I get raided sometimes in the lead chess, and I love it because I mean in the Twitch because I love it because when they raid me, I suddenly get like my viewer score goes way up, and it's just a lot of fun when they raid me. But anyway, what I'm talking to you about here is I'm very good on the king side because his pawns are obsidian and they're blocking him. And let's see how this plays out. So I castle king side because I don't think he's going to attack me there because of his pawn position. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Now he made this mistake. Nothing's going to happen here on the queen side. It's all going to happen on the king side. And he just put his queen over here. It looks like a lot of space, but it's a lot of space to play in, okay? And king in chess is not a game for just playing. We call it, a game like you're going to play a game, but it's a serious thing. And if you're going to be serious, don't play around in a big space. You got to be having a plan. So I moved this pawn up. I think this was a very important move. Let me just go back so we can see how this number changes up here. Mark, you don't not maybe you're not very completely familiar with Lee chess. You said you're into chess.com more, but in Lee chess the number is right here, and you see 1.4 minus 1.4, which is in my favor, and now I maintain by moving the knight up here because I'm threatening a couple of things. This is a minor threat, bringing the knight up into here, attacking the rook. The major threat is here with the queen. And the queen and the knight, and you do the same thing when you're playing white. When the queen is in its original position and you have a knight here and it's naturally here, you bring the knight up into here, you have a really strong attack against the queen because you see, if I put him in check and he moves his pawn up, I got the knight and the queen against that pawn. So it's really formidable. That's a double check. That's a double question mark because he kicks the knight out. That's true. And Mark, here's the thing: if you're rated 1300, and that's a good score. I remember. Yeah, you show me the number thing. I didn't understand them. Great. So, Mark, let me just explain something to you. I'm going to be your coach now. You can come every night if you want to watch me, and it's completely free. You'll just be paying me in the sense of being a viewer and being a chat because I get Twitch points for that. Okay, so you're not like I'm not giving instruction free. You're actually paying me for this by staying with me and chatting. That's very important. So what I'm going to say is cool. Yeah, cool. It's completely cool. Like I win, you win, right? It's a win-win situation. So look how this is, Mark. I'm going to tell you when I was rated 1300 and I know how it is. The first thing I would do, I would think, oh my God, I got to move my knight out of there. He's going to take my knight. Don't think like that. Always think of a better move. Always think of a better move. Do you see the good move here, Mark? Do you see the good move? Tell me. What should I do in this situation? There's a good move. There's a really good move. Look at this. Minus 9.1. Minus 9.1 after he did that move. after he moved his pawn up. Suddenly I have a big advantage. Why? Why do I have a big advantage? Remember what I was talking about? Okay, well, I'll let you think. Think about this. This is interesting. I think this is an interesting position. Let's think it out. And the other viewers, because I have a lot of viewers on YouTube that come the next day, and my other viewers are just zoned out. I got 61 right now. They're just zoned out watching the brainwaves. I got to make sure they're still there. Okay, yeah, they're still there. Um, brainwaves are still there. G3. Okay, so you're saying G3. This is G up to 3. I see your point. Okay, it protects the knight. But there's a better move. There's a more aggressive move. There's a much more aggressive move. Remember what I was talking about? If you go back a little bit, I was talking about the knight when it's here can come up here. The queen at its original position is on the same color as the queen, as the king. Think about that. The queen is on the same color as the king when the chessboard begins. What does that tell you? If the queen is on the same color and the queen moves on diagonals, what do you what does that transmit? Think about it. Check. That's it. Check. You know, check is not always the coolest thing because sometimes you check without any good um, effect. But in this case, the queen is going to infiltrate up into this area. His queen is playing around over here, and this queen is going to be supported by this knight, and he can't take the knight because he's in check. Right? So think about this, Mark. Next time somebody is threatening your knight, don't move your knight until you do what? See if you have a way to check his king. If you have a way to check his king, then you don't have to move your knight. And that's exactly what I did here. So always check for the check. I think that's very mnemonic, right? Easy to commit to your memory. Check for the check before you react. Okay, don't just react with your knight. So I think maybe that's one difference between, um, and like I say, I'm not at a high level, but maybe I'm at a low enough level that I can still help you because I'm thinking a little bit like you. So I'm telling you that, okay, so don't move my knight. I check up there. If ever I was Magnus and Carlsen talking to you, I'd be saying a bunch of bullshit you wouldn't even understand. But I think you understand this. So right there, boom, check. And okay, he's got to move his king. And now, if you had been watching the game, and probably tomorrow, hopefully you'll be bearing with me as I begin the whole expose. I was debating here for a few seconds what to do, and that's what I did. Okay, I brought the knight in because the knight was going to get checked, and I mean taken. And if I had moved the knight, the queen up here, it actually might have been better because I would have checked him. He would have come here, and then I could have brought the knight in here. Well, I would have brought the knight in here. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't go down very much. We're just and by let me see if that's where I made the inaccuracy. Let me just see. The blue line is there. My inaccuracy. No, that was not an inaccuracy. So that was actually the best move. If I had done a different move, it would have given me an inaccuracy. So, or wait, let me check that. Let me just see really quick. Suppose I had come down here. Oh, it would have been a better move. So look, I went up to 7.8. So I had a better move there. I could have infiltrated with the queen. But okay, going back to where it was. So I came in there. Instead of going to 7.8, I went to minus 5.2, which is still good for me. So he's trying to develop over here, making some good moves. He's maintaining, and I take the rook. But there was no way to avoid that really, because if I just go back, you'll see. I mean, a lot of people think, well, why don't you just he let you take the rook? But you see, I came up here, check. He's got to move. I come up there with my knight, threatening the rook. If he moves the knight, if he moves the rook up, the only way he can escape is to move the rook up. I take the bishop, put him in check, and take the rook. 2000. I'm not 2000. If I was 2000, I would be jumping for joy, but I'm not 2000. I'm getting close, but um, it's not anywhere near there. So that's why this game played out like it is. I come up here, threaten the rook. He can't save the rook because check, boom, and then from there take the rook. So he moves the knight to protect the rook. I don't know I'm that high. I don't think I'm. Your eyes are as your eyes are as bad as mine. But if you think I'm 1968, it's good. I have a little problem with my retina. When I look at one of those grids, it's kind of wavy, and it's not because my lenses are really bad, but I do have like a little problem with when the light comes through my lenses and is cast onto my retina. The cells in my retina, because they're not at equidistant points from my pupils, it's weird. They transmit to my brain, and then my brain receives a distorted image. So, but that's cool. Okay, yeah, I'm 1968. That's cool, and that was a good year too. That was the year they put a band. They put on the man on the moon, for God's sake. I was talking about that earlier. I'm a member of Silent Generation. Silent Generation. Right now they talk about this boomer thing, and okay, I'm a millennial and I'm cooler than you because I know so much. And I kind of agree the boomers are a little bit strange or whatever, but I'm silent generation. We are the ones who put the man on the moon. We are the people who put the man on the moon. Yeah, I beat. You're right. The opponent was 1968, so I beat that. So yeah, that kind of like shows that I'm a little bit better. You're right. That's logical. If I can beat somebody rated that score, so okay, I'm equivalent to that score. So I completely agree with you. Um, you're logical. And that's another reason why your chess rating is going to be going up soon. So I took the okay, I'm clicking through now. I took the rook. He took me. Obviously, that was planned out. Okay, now we're playing on the clock. 425 against 403. Now this is a 5-minute game. We're at move 15. We've each taken 1 minute. And I just stressing that to you, Mark, because as your coach, I want to make you very much aware that you can't just make good moves. You got to make good moves with the clock. And I don't think I took a lot of time on this next move. Let's see how much time I took, because we can see 4.03. I click here. I took some time. I took 8 seconds to make that move. And I think I remarked about that during the play. I said, okay, I'm kind of glad that I took some time, because it was, I got to infiltrate with the queen. You see my queen in this area against uh, a knight and a bishop. What I want to teach you, Mark, is to look at things in a macro situation like this. I got a queen in this position. He's got a queen playing around over here. He's got a rook that's not developed yet. And I'm threatening to take this knight, but it's just a minor threat because he can block with the knight. But still, threatening a lot of stuff up there. So he blocked with the knight. It's still minus 4.8. And we're going to click through here some more. Okay, and I took some time here too. Look at this. 3:55. I backed up the clocks here so you could see my next move. So he moved his knight here, and I took about 10 seconds on this, which is a long time in a game like this. But I remember telling my audience, what I got to do is just open up this side. I've got to somehow get this bishop into play. I got to get this rook into play. I got this pawn flanks over here. So that's what I said. I gotta loosen things up over here. So by taking the pawn, I loosen things up. It's still not completely loose, but you'll see. We'll get things moving. Okay, so now I got two attacks on this pawn. He's still stagnant over here. You see how these pieces haven't moved for a long time? He's got pieces over there, but think about it, Mark. I want you to answer a question. If you've got a AK-47 and a hand grenade and a bomb, and they're in your closet next to your bedroom, and you are arguing with your neighbor in the driveway, do you think that those things are going to help you in the short run in your argument? Or not that you're going to use those against your neighborhood. Let's say you've got a guy like a malefactor who's in your driveway, and he's pulling a gun on you, and you've got all that stuff up in your closet. They're in your closet upstairs in your bedroom, and you're in the no, they locked away. Exactly. So, these things are kind of like he's got them, but they're not doing him any good because they're not active. And remember that metaphor of the closet. If you got a rook back here and he's blocked by your knight, okay, you have a rook, but is that rook going to do you any good? If you can stall for time and not lose a lot of pieces and material and not get checkmated in the meantime, yeah, he can help you later if you can somehow get him out of there. But right now, stuff is happening over here, stuff is happening fast, and that rook is doing nothing. That rook may as well be off the board, okay, because he's not developed. He's just over there. So let's see how this plays out. I got the knight up here. I'm developing and moving toward the king side. Again, it's not these pawns that are helping me so much as his obsidian pawns that are helping me. He can't get out of that situation. And here he has a bad. I talked about this during the actual game. Um, I decided I had two possibilities there. I could have brought the bishop up here to attack the knight. He couldn't take here because that would have. Well, he could take there, but anyway, I decided to come over here. Um, should I belabor this, Mark? I mean, I've got how many? 57 viewers right now who are just zoning out. You're the only one talking to me in the chat. Should we analyze if it would have been better to bring out the bishop, or do you think it's better just to keep going with the game? What do you think? If I wanted to, I could back it up and see if I should take the bishop out. What would you like to see in this analysis? I'm just wondering. Okay, let's just see what happens. Okay, so got the knight up here. Keep clicking forward. Okay, this was a good move. I think that was an excellent move. I'm just going to click back one. Just look. Like from 9.6, he suddenly went to 6.1. Very good move. It does a number of things. It frees up his rook because his rook can do different things. And it also protects this knight in a strong way. But I did all this. If you were watching the game, you would have seen I had this planned out where I was thinking I can bring this bishop up to attack the knight, and I can bring this up to attack the knight. And I thought that would be enough, but then I noticed that he had this excellent move. It looks like a sacrifice, but it's really good because I can't take him because look, see that queen? I didn't even pay attention to that. He was able to take that. So now I come up here attacking the knight another time. I now have 3 pieces on the knight. This was all part of my plan. He's got 2 pieces on the knight. Well, he's got, yeah, 2 pieces. He's got this knight and this king. Well, let me back that up. Mark says he had a check, but he doesn't really have a check. Look, this was the position, and then he took there. He doesn't really have a check because look, if I back that up, he can't check with the queen. I'll just take him. So he really didn't have a check. So he took there, which was good move because I cannot retake. But I think that's what you're saying, right? He had a check because if I take him, I can't take him, right? So he takes there, he gets a free pawn, and that was an important pawn too, in several senses. It was good that he took that, I think. And now I come up here um, with 3 pieces against his knight, and he only has 1 piece, so he's in trouble. I can take if he takes, I take with the queen. Um, it's not a huge thing, but I win. I win a piece, and he can probably escape with his king, but I lose a piece and just keep coming closer and closer. So he needs to do something to save this knight, and he does. Look at this. This is why this move was so important. He had the bishop back here. How is that bishop going to attack that knight? And he did it. Look, I mean defend the knight. He did it. He took here. I moved the knight up, and now he's going to move back here, defending the knight. That was a very, very good move. So, um, and as you pointed out, he's rated almost 2,000, and you expect that he could figure out something like that, where he took the pawn, um, but not because he wanted a pawn. You understand? He took the pawn because his bishop was out of play. He was also in danger by the knight, and it was a spectacular move, in my opinion. He took the pawn, and then I moved the knight up, and then he brought the bishop back. And now he's okay because look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 protecting a knight that's attacked by 3. And Mark, this is something I just learned something about like a year ago. I learned this. You got to learn how to count in chess. Just don't think, oh, if I move here and he moves here and I move. If you think of all this right now in this position, you're going to be thinking about 12 different things, and you're going to get confused. Just do a quick math. That's all you need. Look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He's got 3, you got 3. Now think about that. It confused me for a long time. I was thinking, he's got 3, I got 3. Does that, it's a tie, right? Or what do I do? But think about it. Go back to 1. Suppose you attack a piece, you take a piece, he's got 1 defender. That's not good. So anyway, in this case, I got 1, 2, 3. He's got 1, 2, 3. That's not enough. I'm just telling you. You got to figure this out. It's not enough. I can't take him. I can't take him because if I have 1 attacker, let's think about this. Suppose I have 1 attacker and he has 1 defender. I take and he takes me with his defender. And that's it. It's over. So 1 against 1 doesn't work. Exactly. You're right. You always need 1 more. If it's a tie, you can't do it. Just like if you have 1 attacker and he has 1 defender, you take, he takes you. You can't do it. You have 1 attacker, 1 defender, he takes you. So the same thing works for 2, the same thing works for 3, the same thing works for 4. So commit that to memory, Mark. I'm your coach, okay? Steinich is your coach. And you are my paying student because you're talking to me, and I need that for my for these points. I get points when I'm going to become a associate, and hopefully I'll start making money with this, and you'll be very instrumental with this. So you're doing a very important job right now just by talking with me, and I'm also instructing you. So do you think this is important, Mark? I'm telling you something important. Tell me if you think this is important so all my viewers know when they watch on YouTube. It's important to know instead of thinking up here, oh, if I do this, he does this, I do this, I do this. You got like 12 permutations. You don't need all of that. Just eliminate all the complications and think, I got three, he's got three. I know that 1 against 1 doesn't work. So 2 against 2 doesn't work. 3 against 2 doesn't work. 5 against 5 doesn't work. Nothing, if it's a tie, it doesn't work. Okay, so that's all I thought about here. And that's why, look at the clock, 3:59, 3:03. I'm down by a minute. I can't sit here thinking about the permutations. I'm just thinking 3 against 3. I got to get some more. And I was talking about this in the game. If you watch later the game, you'll see me explaining this. But I was thinking now, I got to get one more attack on that knight. One, Mark, see if you can figure this out. If you can figure this out, I think you're rated, you're potentially rated higher than 2,200. If you can figure out, I mean, the next move is kind of obvious if you just like imagine development. But if you're thinking about what I'm talking about right now, you should be able to see the next move. How are you going to get another piece trained on this knight? We want to take this knight. What other piece do I have that can possibly come against this knight? This bishop can't because it's on black. This is already on the knight. This is already on the knight. This is already on the knight. This is on black. I don't have any pawns. How do I get another piece on this? How is it? How do I train a piece on this knight? Tell me. Exactly, Mark. Now you're thinking. That's exactly what I said during the game. I said, I'm going to move this rook over. Boom. Training him on the knight because I'm thinking about either this sacrifice or that sacrifice. Okay, I'm going to go to bed here really soon because it's late here and I got to go to bed, but I'm just going to finish this really, really quick so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And this is a very, very, very important interim event in the game. So right there, we got this rook on the knight, and we got two sacrifices lined up. If I take this pawn, if I take this pawn with the bishop, he kind of like needs to take me because if he doesn't take me, I take here with the bishop or here with the queen. You see that? If I take with the bishop and he doesn't take me, I take here with the queen. And he doesn't have any way to even defend this pawn. He could come back here with the knight, but there's other things I can do. It's a little bit more complicated. But anyway, right now this rook is coming into the attack against this knight. And let's just keep clicking forward and see what happens. Okay. So that's exactly what I said. If he brings that knight into this position, it gives me a big problem. Why? Because it attacks my queen and it defends this pawn at the same time. So now you think, oh my God, what do I do now? My queen is attacked. He's thwarting my plans. What do I do, Mark? Think about it. You got 5 seconds because it's a fast game. I've got 253. He's got 329. Can you use logic? Use your logic. If you were looking at the game, I was explaining my logic the whole time. Good, good. That's it. That's it. That's exactly what I did during the game because I said to myself and I said to my viewers, I said, look, he's attacking me. I got to keep the queen on this row. I got to keep him on this row too, because I got the attack on this knight. I can move him here. I can move him here, but maybe keep him close. Who knows? And I just kind of like guessed between here and here. I just guessed over to there. Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Queen to h2. And so far, Mark, I'm trying to just run this through logically. Chess is just like keeping your wits about you at the same time that you think logically. If you can think logically and keep your wits about you, that's the key. And I think that's why Magnus Carlsen wins, because he's able to do that. Most people can't do that. So anyway, we kept our wits about us. We kept the queen on the same row. We moved it back. And now let's see what he does. Okay, so he got a temple here. He moved the knight. I moved the queen back. And let's see if he can do something else to defend. What? He moved my queen back and he didn't advance his position. He brought his... What? Does that work? Let's... I got to go back. I got to see how that works. So look, 9.2. I'm going to go back one more. So 8.9, he moves there. I move back. It's 9.1. He moves back there. Okay, so it was a pretty good move. He moved from 9.1 down to 7.9, so it's valid, right? It's valid. It's a valid move. So he moved my queen back, but he also went back here to defend. Okay, now I was talking about this during the game and I was explaining my next move. I can't even remember what I did right now, to tell you the truth. But let's just click here and see. Okay, I sacrificed there. That looks like a sacrifice. But what I want to do, I had been planning this for a few moves. I want to remove this pawn so that I have this rook against here. And if I have this rook against here, doing the count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3. I mean this one doesn't count. So 1, 2, 3. You can't count this one. So because he's not defending himself. So 1, 2, 3. You got 3 defenders. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers if he takes the bishop. And the bishop just took a pawn. So if you don't take the pawn, you lose a pawn. So let's see what he does. He didn't take the pawn. He's a good player, right? He's almost 2,000. He knew better not to take the pawn because I'm going to put him into like a mating attack if this pawn moves. So he came over here, and this looks like a good move. Why? The knight is attacked. The knight is defending the rook. And you see, I can't move the queen out of danger because then the rook takes the queen. And I can't take the rook because the knight takes the queen. And so I can't put him in check because of the rook, the knight, the bishop. And I can't take his rook because of the knight. And I can't just take here with the knight because he takes my queen. So what do I do? Mark, tell me, what do I do? If you can figure this out, I'm going to give you your diploma. You don't need a coach anymore if you can figure this out. And to my own credit, I figured this out in real time, and we'll see how long it took me. I got 2:32 on the clock. I thought a little bit here. It's minus 18.1, and my queen is in danger. What do I do? What do I do with that queen? Do I just move him out of danger, maybe? Move him over here or over here? Laughing out loud. Bishop B to a check. No, I think you're thinking the check, but there's too many there's too many things here to defend the check when my queen is in danger. I got to get my queen out of danger. Bishop to F3. No. No, I'm going to lose my queen if I do that. I can't. It's not going to help to lose my queen. I don't know what I did here. Let's look what I did, but I think maybe I took this pawn. Look, do you look at this? If I take this pawn with the bishop, I put him in check. Check this out. Check this out, Mark. This pawn is weak. He's got a rook and a bishop against him. If I take this pawn with my bishop, I also attack his attacking rook. And I have an extra move because I talked to you about this before. If you have a piece in danger, even if it's a queen, what do? Tell me, Mark, if you remember my lesson from before. You have a piece in danger, and your first instinct is to react and move it out of danger. But what do you do before you move it out of danger? What do you look for? What is the one move that he cannot ignore? What can you do to an opponent that he must respond to? There's only one move in chess that he must respond to that move. What do you threaten? A check. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You're my best student ever so far. So here, I have an opportunity. I put him in check. He's defended by the rook. I put him in check, and by coincidence, by putting him in a check, I also attack the thing that's attacking me. So that's the key. Just always remember before you, most people would think, oh, I need to react with this. I need to put him in. What you got to do is right here. I'm going to click here and see what I did. I did the wrong thing. Oh man, I missed what I'm explaining. I moved my queen over here probably because I was not trying to waste a lot of time on the clock, but I had a perfect move. Look, I'm going to show you. I'm going to back it up. If I had done, it's minus 18.2. If I had done this, put him into check, it's minus 18.3 because then I can just take the rook, no problem. Okay, but I didn't do that. I got scared. I moved the queen over there, but I'm still 9 minus 6.4. I'm still in the game. And he took there with his rook. Okay, and now you need to think about this, but I can take the rook, and his knight can't take me because his knight is pinned. So I missed the really stellar move, but at least I got this one. His knight is pinned. And this game could have been a lot better if I had done. Oh, this was an important move. Okay, I'm going to back up here. He took the knight. He's a good player. It looks like a sacrifice, but it's not really a sacrifice. Um, it's actually, it opens a lot of things for him. If I take him, he takes me, check, and maybe things could play out very different. But instead of taking him, I moved back here because now I can take his knight and his queen doesn't get an attack on my king. So that was a pretty important move. Let me just see. I'm going to back up. Suppose I had taken him. Just going to look up here how the rating would change. So that's minus zero point 0.8. And suppose I did this. Well, that was also good. It actually improved me more. So I wasn't even thinking very correctly. I just maybe thought it would be safer to bring him back. And I think it's a safe move. So he put me in check. I took him. He came up here and I took him. He put me in check. I thought for a second, moved my king up because he can't put me in another check here. And then he put me in check. I took him with my rook. I took him in check. And then just this plays out very easily. And he's almost in checkmate now. I win his queen. And basically, that's it. I had to make sure he didn't queen here with the rook. And boom, that's it. Look, Mark, if you enjoyed that game, if you enjoyed the instruction, Did you? Let me get one more response, and I gotta sign off here because things are getting late, like where I'm living. But it was a big pleasure. Um, you did me a big favor. Great. Yes, you have. So you already followed me. Just come back. If you followed me, if you follow me, you're in. I'm talking to you over there because I see your name there. Sorry about that, but I need to look at the camera. I'm a kind of a inexperienced Twitcher, but anyway, Mark, if you followed me, that means you're going to receive emails when I'm online. So next time I'm online, pay attention. And I've got how many? 59. I got 59 viewers now, and they're just zoning out. They're zoning out on their couch. They're eating munchies. They're watching the brainwaves. But and the brainwaves are cool. But if you come back and chat, we can do some more coaching, and we'll have a lot of fun. So see you around. See you next time. 2 p.m. Australia. Okay, I'll remember that and make sure I get on a good time for you. Okay, see you, Mark. Okay, bye bye.